Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, drunk driving is suspected to be the cause of a car crash and subsequent fire last night in Holden. According to Holden police, at about 6:16 p.m., officers were called to a vehicle crash that turned into a fire on the lower Dedham Road. They say the operator, Nicole Babout of Blue Hill, reportedly fled the scene but was apprehended shortly afterward. As a result of the incident, she was transported to the hospital and charged with felony OUI and operating after suspension. One person faces arson charges in connection with a fire in Stonington yesterday. Firefighters were called to a residential fire at 31 School Street in Stonington just after 11 a.m. Investigators from the State Fire Marshal's office were called in to investigate. The homeowner, 33-year-old George Saint-Amand, was arrested and charged with arson. He's expected to make his initial court appearance on Friday. Officials now say the fire that destroyed a home in Hamden Tuesday morning was accidental. Crews were called to a fast-moving fire at a home on the Fowler Road just after 1 o'clock Tuesday morning. The fire was already heavily involved when crews arrived on scene. A 9-year-old boy woke up and discovered the fire. He then woke up his mother and sister, and they all managed to get out safely. Officials have determined the fire was started by smoking materials. Kittery firefighters and state fire investigators discovered a body in the debris of the Days Inn that was destroyed by fire yesterday. Investigators say they're still trying to determine who it was.
We did this afternoon locate one victim. Their identity is still to be confirmed by the medical examiner, but at this time we believe all persons involved are accounted for.
This is where investigators and firefighters discovered the body at 2:15 this afternoon. Firefighters tried to locate the person when they first responded yesterday, but the fire became too intense and the fire chief ordered them to leave the building. Kittery Fire Chief David O'Brien says hotel records were not readily available as required by the Department of Health and Human Services. We did see them pulling several record books out of the office, but most of them are wet and still drying out. The chief says the body was discovered in this area where the worst of the fire burned.
It was definitely in the area of the biggest burn in the building. There are no walls. It's impossible to determine.
3 out-of-towners who were working at the shipyard were staying here. They too were okay. Michael Johnson was at the shipyard when the fire broke out.
First thing I thought, I was like, my computer, everything on there. Hopefully they could allow me to go see my room.
That was Brad Rogers reporting, and the State Fire Marshal says the origin and cause of that fire still are under investigation. Chief David O'Brien of the Kittery Fire Department says he thinks the inn was last inspected about 2 years ago. He also says the Days Inn had no sprinkler system. In other news tonight, at least 2 Democratic county committees received a mailing this week that contained what's being described as white nationalist literature. A statement from the Maine Democratic Party says the mailings were similar, if not identical, to the flyers sent to Democratic legislators last month. Maine Democratic Party Chair Bev Uhlenhake said, quote, "The reality is that our state and nation are growing increasingly diverse every year. As Maine Democrats, we believe that everyone, regardless of the color of their skin, their religion, their sexual orientation, or their gender identity, should be able to find a home here in Maine free of fear and persecution. We will not stand by and allow this divisive and inflammatory rhetoric to become commonplace, nor will we allow our friends and neighbors to become political targets for the latest iteration of an extremist white nationalist movement," end quote. The Health and Human Services Committee voted ought to pass on LD 1215, an act to end the sale of flavored tobacco products. That vote came after proposed amendments to the bill's original language. The bill will now be sent to the House floor for consideration. Following the committee vote, the New England Convenience Store and Energy Marketers Association's Executive Director Peter Brennan said in a statement, quote, "Banning flavored tobacco is a policy that has failed in neighboring Massachusetts, and as an entity that represents more than 1,000 Maine businesses, we urge the legislature to learn from Massachusetts' failed experiment. The U.S. CDC has also found that a minuscule number of young Mainers are smoking, which means this ban would hurt Maine's economy, drive up illegal tobacco traffic, and cut into government revenues. For what purpose? We urge the legislature to reject this bill again, end quote. Now, according to the CDC's latest study on tobacco use among high school students in Maine, 6.6% of students surveyed reported smoking in the past 30 days. However, a much higher percentage of students, 28.7%, reported vaping in the past 30 days.
Well, for months now, if not longer, getting your pet a vet appointment or just getting them accepted into a practice can be challenging as veterinarians try to keep up with the demand for services. Those struggles are now even more intense for clients of the River Road Veterinary Hospital in Orrington after the practice announced its doors are closing permanently in just a couple of weeks. The parent company of River Road Veterinary Hospital, Rare Breed Veterinary Partners, issued a statement saying in part, quote, "There is a veterinarian shortage in our industry, including in our own Bangor community. We have been actively searching for over 2 years, and despite our greatest efforts, we were unable to find a new veterinarian for the team. Our industry is also in the middle of a mental health crisis, and we have made the difficult decision to close the practice to protect the team's well-being. We have been helping our team to secure employment at other hospitals," end quote. Now, we spoke to multiple veterinarians in the Bangor area who told us they've been backlogged with appointments and surgeries to the point they can't accept new clients at the moment, a trend that makes the closure of a practice that much more daunting. Timothy McLaughlin, a client of River Road Veterinary Hospital who has 2 older dogs, says he's now experiencing that trend firsthand.
Most of the vets in the area have month-long waits to get in, and this is only going to compound the problem that one less vet in the area. I've called several vets like Kindred Spirits, and most of them aren't taking new patients right now, so it's been difficult to find.
In their announcement, River Road recommended that clients take their pets to Brewer Veterinary Clinic, and for emergencies, they pointed to Pet Medic in Freeport or the Eastern Maine Emergency Veterinary Clinic. They said they will be on hand until June 8th for clients to call and get their pets' records. They will also assist in getting client records to a new veterinary practice.
Well, the Maine Warden Service is hiring. State officials are looking to recruit Mainers with a love of the outdoors. Our David Ledford has the story.
We have approximately 90 district game wardens in the state, and if you think about that in the context of how big our state is, that's very few people to cover the entire state of Maine.
The Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife is seeking new game wardens to join their team. While the Warden Service has reeled in some new hires in recent years, officials say pending retirements could mean a larger staffing issue is on the horizon. For those interested, game wardens say the job could be the perfect fit for nature lovers.
I was just absolutely taken by a job where you could be walking through the woods and partaking in these activities that I love recreationally, but you could have a professional duty with that.
While spending time in the outdoors is one aspect of the job, officials say that game wardens have a number of responsibilities that make the position unique.
You could have something in mind that you're going to focus on that day, and all of a sudden a search comes in. We do hundreds of search and rescue missions each year across the state. You are kind of an investigator, detective, game warden, police officer all in one.
The Maine Warden Service has several other specialty groups, including a dive team, a canine team, and a forensic team. Wardens say that the right candidates can come from a variety of backgrounds, as long as they have the skills they're looking for.
We're looking for people with a strong work ethic that are able to do a job independently, have good thought processing skills, and can handle themselves.
If that sounds like you, reach out to your regional game warden office or submit an application on maine.gov/IFW. In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Definitely a job that takes a lot of hard work and training, but one that sounds really, really rewarding at the end of the day.
Really fulfilling, and one of those jobs where you probably won't do the same thing 2 days in a row,
Right.
3 days in a row. You know, there's just a lot being thrown at them, and it certainly takes a lot of dedication, but I have to imagine a lot of fulfillment and pride comes with that job as well when you're protecting the state's natural resources.
Yeah, and the state of Maine has so many great resources to protect.
They do indeed.
Yep.
All righty, well, let's go ahead and hit pause here and get a first check of our forecast and see what's coming our way.
All right, Beth, thank you. Happy Thursday, meaning it's almost Friday. Your first weather is brought to you by Sliba's Rug Cleaners, Maine's largest for over 70 years. Okay, let's talk temperatures. So comfortable, 61 here in Bangor today, 59 for Bar Harbor, but even warmer temperatures are on the way, along with some rain, of course, over the weekend. First, though, this is a frost advisory for tonight. The clear skies, light winds will allow temperatures to fall back into the low to mid 30s again. Not a freeze warning, but a frost advisory tonight. So your sensitive plants, bring them indoors again tonight before we get warmer temperatures in here tomorrow night. Lots of clear skies out there all day long today. We loved it, but tomorrow looking pretty good as well before our next system gets in here on Saturday, likely with some rain showers by Saturday night. Our forecast though tonight though is mostly clear skies and still a bit cool with low temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
Nice, mild, cool overnight. Always what I like to see.
Absolutely.
All righty. Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10. A proposed bill would set new rules when it comes to overtime for pulp and paper mill workers.
We'll tell you how the bill could provide some relief, rather, to overworked employees. Those stories and more local news when we come right back.
Whether it's enjoying your morning coffee or having friends over, some of the best memories are made outdoors. Enjoy it now and get up to 60 months no interest. Experience the outdoors at Jordan's.
When the Davises booked their Verbo vacation home, they didn't know about this view. Or the 200-year-old tree in the backyard. Or their neighbors down the hill. But one thing they did know is exactly how much they'd pay. Because Verbo is different. You see the total price up front. Of course, it's good to leave room for some surprises.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Elantra. Lease an Elantra for $219 a month, or get 0.9% APR for 36 months, or get $750 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Roman Reigns has set his sights on the tag team titles. Does this mean the reign of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is over? An all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Here and now is when it matters most.
Heavy damage.
Not last month or last week, or 48 laps ago when that bumper fell off.
He's done.
Here is where it must be left on the track. The anger, the hunger, the passion, and the drive to do whatever it takes to make it across that finish line first.
Blow those rear tires off us, bud.
Now is when the future is written. In the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Ah, the great outdoors, soaking up the warm sun, chasing the dog, letting the kids win. Enjoy it now and get up to 60 months no interest. Experience the fun at Jordan's.
You can join Fox 22 and ABC 7 online at foxbangor.com. Be a part of the conversation on Twitter and join our Facebook family at Fox ABC Maine. Follow, like, watch. Download the new Fox Bangor app from the App Store or Google Play and get your news anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back. A bill has been proposed that, according to its proponents, would bolster workers' rights in the pulp and paper industry. The state's Labor and Housing Committee heard testimony for LD 1794, an act to enhance the predictability of mandated overtime for pulp or paper manufacturing facility employees. If passed, the bill will mandate that employers can no longer force employees to work more than 2 hours of overtime after their scheduled shift. According to the president of Local 9 at the Sappy Somerset Skowhegan facility, Justin Shaw, it's not uncommon for employees to be forced to work a 24-hour shift.
So at the end of a 12-hour shift, your mate may not show up. They may have called out for that shift that night. The company will attempt to find coverage or step the next crew up. If they can't do that with improper training and improper staffing, you will be stuck for the next 12 hours so that they can fill those jobs.
Although the bill would eliminate mandatory overtime, voluntary overtime would not be affected at all, allowing willing employees to work as much as they are allowed by their employer.
I think it's important to allow people voluntary overtime if they want, but it's also important not to force people to work well beyond what they're able to, well beyond what is safe. People deserve to be able to spend some time with their families, and right now, with the crunch we've seen at some of these places, that's not happening.
The Maine CDC says one person died this week from the rare tick-borne Powassan virus. Asia Reed spoke to the family.
Robert Weymouth of Topsom died Sunday of the rare Powassan disease. Friends and family say his death comes as a shock and describe him as active and hardworking.
Unbelievable that something like a tick can take someone away that quickly.
Scott Lamper says he was friends with Robert Weymouth for the last 13 years. Lamper says Weymouth was a driver for his business, Scott's Recreation, for the last 6 years, and a huge asset to his company and to his life.
Quickly formed a friendship with him, and he kind of took my son under his wing.
Lamper says he first met Weymouth at a racing track, which is where their friendship began. Lamper says Weymouth was a longtime racer.
He still was racing motorcycles in the winter on ice. He was still racing his legend car.
Lamper recalls the last time they spoke, which was a few words exchanged about work.
Unfortunately, we didn't have much more of a conversation than that, but it was Bob being Bob.
He says hearing the news that Weymouth died of the tick-borne Powassan virus was shocking. Infectious disease physician Dr. Rob Smith says it's a rare disease. Experts are still learning about it.
Many people will get a mild infection, but then 1 in 100 gets really severely ill with a brain infection. And why that happens, we don't understand it.
He says if you get infected, there aren't many warning signs and possibly none at all. But if you do, some symptoms might include a fever or a headache. Antibody tests can be performed to determine if someone catches the virus. However, there is no specific treatment for it yet. Dr. Smith says Weymouth's death is the only case he knows of in Maine this year, and most people do survive it. He says only 1 to 2% of ticks in the state carry the virus. That's one reason Weymouth's death came as a shock to friends and family.
He lived a fairly healthy lifestyle as far as we knew. He worked very hard, came to work every day.
Experts say if you are bit by a tick, call your doctor. We reached out to Weymouth's wife of nearly 23 years, but she declined to speak on camera. She describes her husband as a mentor to young racers and loved by everyone in the community.
Certainly a tragic loss there, and just really a heart-wrenching reminder that you can't be too careful when it comes to ticks, even though it's a very low number of ticks that carry that disease. Just in general, you can't be too careful with those.
Right, and remembering that it's not just Lyme disease. There's just a litany of different viruses and tick-borne illnesses out there that you need to be worried about. So like you said, just checking yourself really every time you go outdoors. You may not think that they might even just be in short grass, but I've already pulled a number of ticks off me this year, and you just don't know which ones are carrying those illnesses.
You have to be super careful for sure.
Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, Border Patrol agents say they've arrested 16 people on the FBI's terror watch list who were attempting to enter the U.S. illegally.
And House Speaker Kevin McCarthy voices optimism over the latest debt ceiling talks. Those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
They've got the sharpest pencil in town. Have they just sit around that showroom figuring deals and whittling that old pencil down? They know that if you buy once, you're gonna be back. So instead of buying one, you're buying two, and that's a fact. They've got the sharpest pencil in town.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
He's going to speak now.
The good news, U.S. Cellular gives you $1,100 off any phone with no trade-in needed.
Wow.
So, friend who always has a broken phone can finally get a new one.
Oh, it's just a scratch.
It's broken.
Oh. Oh.
It's busted.
We're good. Oh, no.
Get $1,100 off any phone with no trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's Mayhem at Hanlon's Marine. Join us Thursday, May 18th through Saturday, May 20th for a 3-location open house and boat sale in Waterville, Belfast, and Hamden. Hanlon's Marine is New England's largest Yamaha outboard dealer. Get the best pricing and service on Godfrey and Bennington pontoons, Weldcraft, Alumacraft, and G3 fishing boats. Surf and ski with Mastercraft Stingray and Hurricane. Cruise with Jeanneau, Scout, Carolina Skiff, and Sea Chaser. All powered by the reliability of Yamaha. Don't miss the Mayhem at Hanlon's Marine, Waterville, Belfast, and Hamden.
Saturdays, baseball's best are showing out on Fox.
Buckle up. It's going to be fun. What a play!
This is where MVPs are VIPs and where aces always come in pairs. Saturday means it's showtime for Shohei and mealtime for Manny. All the swag, all the salt, and all the slams.
Swing and a drive! Are you kidding me?
The biggest games on the best day of the week. Fox Saturday Baseball all season long.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
With President Biden abroad, negotiating teams back in the nation's capital continue to work against the clock to find a compromise to raise the debt ceiling before a catastrophic default. The Speaker of the House is optimistic a deal will be reached, but others less so. Fox's Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington.
I see the path that we could come to an agreement. And I think we have a structure now, and everybody's working hard.
A newly optimistic Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, says nothing has been agreed to yet, but that there's a possible path to narrowly avoid a national default. In the way, the rank-and-file members on both sides of the aisle, who are pressuring their top negotiators, President Biden and Speaker McCarthy, not to budge.
The president thinks that there's just going to be some acclamation like, oh, great, yeah, we'll do whatever just to get a deal. That's insane, right? We need something that's going to work.
Here's where the main sticking points are. Whether to add more work requirements to federal benefits. Progressives strongly oppose. How long the debt ceiling should be raised for. Democrats want at least 2 years, while Republicans say only until March. And what spending levels should be, and where the cuts should come from. Some far-right members are urging McCarthy to force Democrats to accept the previously passed House bill the president has said he'd veto.
McCarthy's got to quit playing to his right-wing extremists and start doing the right thing for this country.
Senators have left town for recess, but will come back if a bipartisan deal is reached. President Biden is also out of town. He is in Japan for the G7 summit. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Border towns, meanwhile, are bracing for a potential surge of migrants since the expiration of Title 42. It comes as some holding facilities in the region remain at capacity. Fox's Dan Springer with the latest.
Nearly a week after Title 42 expired, as many as 35,000 people were reportedly waiting on the Mexico side of the border to cross into the U.S. Here in El Paso, Texas, some migrants have been sleeping on the streets as shelters remain at capacity. City officials fear another surge could be coming.
People are going to get desperate and they're going to try to cross in an irregular fashion, either, coming across the river or going out into the desert or trying to jump over the wall. Which are all very, very dangerous.
CBP says that in April, when Title 42 was still policy, there were more than 211,000 migrant encounters. Border Patrol agents arrested 16 people on the FBI's terror watch list who were attempting to enter the U.S. illegally. It's raising concerns among lawmakers about who may have crossed the border undetected.
We need physical security at the border. We need a fence. We need the wall to be built so we know who's coming and going, so we can better monitor that and law enforcement can do their job.
As processing centers deal with overcrowding, CBP confirms that an 8-year-old migrant girl died in Border Patrol custody on Wednesday. The child and her family were being held at a facility in Harlingen, Texas, when officials say she experienced a medical emergency. She was taken to a local hospital where she was pronounced dead. Last week in Florida, a 17-year-old boy from Honduras died of a possible seizure while in U.S. custody. In El Paso, Texas, Dan Springer, Fox News.
Well, there is a new effort to get financial compensation for Black Americans over the issues of slavery and racial inequality. A group of House progressives is demanding at least $14 trillion to address the wealth gap in the country. Fox's Griff Jenkins has more.
Reparations now!
Missouri Democrat Cori Bush says the U.S. has a moral and legal obligation to provide federal reparations for the enslavement of Africans.
222 million hours of forced labor, which today would be at the value of over $97 trillion. And so the United States must pay.
That comes with a hefty price tag.
About $14 trillion.
What is unclear where federal funds would come from to pay for it.
The situation right now where the country is dealing with a serious debt issue.
Reparations have been introduced in every legislative session since 1989, never making it to a floor vote.
I can't comment on its merits.
The House Minority Leader says he hasn't looked at this latest resolution, but left the door open.
We want to uplift everyone and, of course, make sure that we deal with injustice, whether that's racial injustice, social injustice, or economic injustice.
Republicans are firmly opposed.
In this country, you can do anything, be anything, and this culture of victimhood, it has absolutely gotten out of control.
Across the country, more than a dozen cities or counties are studying reparations, with Evanston, Illinois being the first city to make actual payments. California is the only state to establish a task force which proposes paying every qualifying Black resident up to $1.2 million.
The experiment in California is illustrating the absurdity of some of these proposals. The cost would be absolutely enormous.
As for where Americans stand on the issue, it's been a while since the nation's pulse was taken. But according to a 2021 Pew Research poll, only 30% support reparations, while 68% said the U.S. should not pay. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
Federal health advisors are backing an RSV vaccine for pregnant women. The first of its kind vaccine would be administered to women between 24 and 36 weeks pregnant in the hopes the RSV fighting antibodies would pass through to the baby. International research compiled from nearly 7,400 pregnant women shows the shot is 82% effective at preventing severe RSV in the infant's first few months of life. When pressed by the FDA, advisors said they weren't convinced the vaccine would affect premature births. According to the CDC, between 58 and 80,000 children under the age of 5 are hospitalized in the U.S. every year due to RSV, and with between 100 and 300 deaths annually being reported.
Well, a growing number of adults are finding it harder to pay for their prescription drugs, mainly due to inflation and the rising cost of medication. That, according to a new study. As a result, about 1 in 5 adults ages 65 and up either skipped, delayed, or took less medication than their doctors prescribed last year. The study, published in JAMA Open Network, by the way, that's the Journal of the American Medical Association, found about 30% of adults in the study used a copayment card or some type of coupon to afford their medication. A quarter of the respondents asked a physician for a lower cost option, and about 17% of them tried to shop around at various pharmacies to find a lower price. More than 8% said they went without basic needs like gas and groceries in order to afford their medication, while a little less than 5% of respondents said they went into debt to get theirs. The findings were based on a national survey taken by more than 2,000 older adults and didn't cover the experience of younger individuals. Researchers pointed out that prescription drugs are notoriously higher in the U.S. compared to other countries of similar size and wealth.
Electronic tax filing and tax prep companies might soon have competition from the federal government. The Internal Revenue Service is planning to launch a free government-backed online tax filing system. The agency says it's planning to test the program next year. The system could become its own full-scale tax filing option and would compete with tax prepping companies like TurboTax and H&R Block. The IRS reported to Congress that 72% of surveyed taxpayers say they are interested in filing their taxes directly to the IRS at no cost. The size and scope of the pilot system isn't yet known. The system could cost between $64 and $249 million per year to operate.
Definitely an important option to have.
Yeah, I think so. I think offering something at no cost to taxpayers is definitely something that's important and would probably be widely accepted and looked forward to.
This was the first year where I DIY'd mine because they were relatively simple, and
right.
Usually I spend between $150 and $300 to have them done, depending on how complicated things are.
Right.
So it was a huge savings and frankly eye-opening to go through 1 year where it cost me nothing, and then you sit and think to yourself, why should it cost me anything?
Exactly, and just skipping the middleman is always something
pretty handy.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
All right, well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, Montana becomes the first state to ban TikTok outright, and many of the app's users are frustrated.
And in sports, Nokomis softball off to a hot start after an early exit from last year's playoffs. They say they're hungry for more. We'll have that story coming up.
Major champions lay everything on the line to be crowned the best. The PBA Super Slam Cup, Sunday at 2 Eastern on Fox.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Kia EV6 was named 2023 North American Utility Vehicle of the Year. So consider this our victory lap. Lease a new 2023 EV6 Wind for $499 a month.
Maine is a one-of-a-kind beautiful state, and there's no better way to see it than from the air. Fletcher Mountain Aviation offers an aerial experience like no other, featuring seaplane flights where you will see the best views in Maine from the air and land on Maine's most beautiful lakes. An experience you will never forget, with views from the northern Maine woods, Moosehead Lake, and Katahdin regions. Come fly and see our beautiful state from the sky with Fletcher Mountain Aviation. Visit our website here or scan the QR code to book your flight today.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer.
Your favorite restaurants for half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Come visit Candor Cafe inside the Bangor Mall, where your fresh and healthy meals are made for you by a certified nutritionist. We also offer plant-based and gluten-free options. Stop by and see us today. Candor Cafe inside the Bangor Mall.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Welcome back. Control over user content on the internet has been a growing issue, causing concern. Now the Supreme Court has weighed in. Fox's Madeline Rivera has the story.
A major step in the battle to limit TikTok in the U.S. On Wednesday, Montana became the first state to completely ban the social media app. The bill, signed by Montana's governor, prohibits TikTok from operating within the state and fines any entity $10,000 per day anytime someone is offered the ability to access or download the app. Until now, states have only banned TikTok on government-issued devices.
TikTok is a national security threat.
This app steals information and data from users, and its ability to share that data with the Chinese Communist Party is unacceptable and infringes on Montana's rights to privacy.
TikTok is owned by the Chinese company ByteDance. Lawmakers and the FBI are concerned that the Chinese government could use it to access the private data of American citizens. During a congressional hearing back in March, TikTok CEO insisted the platform was separate from the Chinese state.
It is our commitment to this committee and all our users that we will keep this free from any manipulation by any government.
The Montana ban takes effect next January, but it's already facing pushback. The ACLU says the bill, quote, trampled on the free speech of hundreds of thousands of Montanans who use the app to express themselves, gather information, and run their small business in the name of anti-Chinese sentiment. Despite security concerns, TikTok remains popular in the U.S. with more than 150 million monthly users. In Los Angeles, William Lajeunesse, Fox News.
All right, now back to Madeline Rivera with that story over control.
In a unanimous ruling, the Supreme Court protecting Twitter, finding that user content on the social media site cannot be held liable for radicalizing terrorists. The case was brought by the family of a man killed in a 2017 ISIS attack. But in a ruling written by Justice Clarence Thomas, the plaintiff's allegations are insufficient to establish that these defendants aided and abetted ISIS in carrying out the relevant attack.
The court has clarified that there needs to be much more of a nexus and proof of actual meaningful knowing participation in, say, a terrorist act.
The Supreme Court has also thrown a separate case against Google back to the lower courts. The court sidestepping questions regarding Section 230, which shields platforms from liability based on third-party content. Family members of an American student killed in the 2015 Paris attacks sued YouTube's owner, alleging the platform helped the Islamic State by allowing it to post hundreds of videos that incited potential supporters.
The court was hostile to the idea that the tech companies could be held liable under these circumstances for something like a terrorist attack, where it's clear that they didn't have any knowing participation in the terrorist attack.
But the attorney who represented the student's family argued social media companies need to be held accountable.
The social media have been immune for too many years. Social media has social responsibility.
The Supreme Court is expected to rule on other high-profile cases on issues like affirmative action, religious liberty, and student loan forgiveness in the weeks ahead. At the Supreme Court, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
So quite a full docket there and a lot of stories to be keeping our eyes on for sure.
Absolutely. And something else we're keeping our eyes on is that forecast. Looking like tomorrow could be a pretty great day.
Yes, definitely. But the weekend's looking a bit complicated, especially if you're a student athlete.
Yep.
Maybe you think you have some games this weekend. Keep an eye out. Jeff Weller's coming back with our full 5-day.
50s and a few 60s out there today, but hold on, 70s are still in the 5-day forecast, along with some rain over the weekend. Those details for you when I come back.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Make your waterfront even more fun and more functional than it already is with a ShoreMaster premium dock system from Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond is the country's largest stocking ShoreMaster dealer, with standing docks, rolling docks, floating docks, and boat lifts for any watercraft. ShoreMaster's nearly limitless customization options make it easy to create the perfect dock system for your needs. Take your shoreline to the next level with ShoreMaster from Hammond Lumber Company.
Name a place you love being naked.
Does Steve sing her a song, get super shy, pull out flowers?
Can't you look at me?
No, ma'am. I don't want to make eye contact with you. Only reason I'm asking you this because it's on the card.
Steve, you would have asked me that in your younger days.
Family Feud, the only choice.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Where in America do the best cooks come from? 4 regions, 20 contestants. Sharpen your knives.
MasterChef United Tastes of America, May 24th on Fox.
Well, this is more like it. High temperatures back in the upper 50s to low 60s today. Still not normal. The average high being mid-upper 60s. No one did that today, but hold on. Warmer temperatures are on the way, beginning as soon as tomorrow before some more clouds and rain get in here later Saturday and Sunday. Okay, but first, this is a frost advisory for this evening. Yesterday, of course, we had freeze warnings, low temperatures last night down below freezing. The frost advisory means temperatures hanging out low to mid-30s tonight. So once again, your sensitive plants, bring them into tonight or put a cover on them. They will not like the cold temperatures out there again tonight. But again, the overall trend for us is a warming trend for late May with above average temperatures through the end of the month. So we're going to turn a corner here shortly and get these really cold temperatures out of here, most likely starting tomorrow. All right, the wind today out of the north, northwest, around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Not a bad deal at all, right? This will actually go calm for a couple hours tonight. That's a problem because that allows for radiational cooling with the clear skies out there, a little wind. It's hard to keep the temperatures in, so we'll likely have those low temperatures in the low 30s again tonight. But again, tomorrow, the wind's going to shift more out of the north-northwest. Lots of clear skies out there today. Wasn't it a gorgeous day? That sunshine felt good for being mid-May, of course. But tomorrow will be just as sunny, but then some changes are on the way. And here they are on the radar and satellite pictures showing this system here, bringing rain to the Great Lakes right now. That's going to move our direction for most likely Saturday into Sunday with some scattered rain showers. It will not be a washout this weekend, but just know we'll likely have some showers around, especially Saturday night into early parts of Sunday, and they'll definitely hold temperatures back a bit too late Saturday into Sunday. Futurecast shows lots of clear skies out there tonight. No worries at all. Lots of clear skies out there tomorrow as well. Don't forget your sunglasses, and it's Friday. But then we'll get a little bit of increasing clouds probably later on tomorrow night, but more so on Saturday. That will eventually give us some rain showers probably later Saturday night into early parts of Sunday. Nothing heavy or severe, but just know a couple of showers will be in the area later on Saturday. Lots of cloud cover in there as well. And the heaviest rain likely arriving for us early Sunday morning. If you have plans Sunday morning like church, likely some rain showers across the area. Our forecast ends tonight, though, looking at mostly clear skies and cool, right? Low temperatures down near 35 with that frost advisory through tomorrow morning and a south breeze around 5. We'll go calm after midnight. For tomorrow, all right, so lots of sunshine tomorrow. It's going to be breezy, but high temperatures reaching for 70. That's going to feel really good. That south wind, though, could gust near 30 throughout the afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows near 70 tomorrow. At chance for rain Saturday into Sunday. But look at Sunday, a high temperature of 72. And then here we are next week, some sunshine back in the forecast Monday and Tuesday with high temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Beth?
Kind of a chilly overnight there to start the beginning of next week as well.
Yeah,
so
seriously.
Keep those jackets handy for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, sports is coming up next with Tyler Cruz. Stay with us.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy here, pay here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
Bath remodeling was revolutionized in this garage in 1984 when three brothers created the iconic bath fitter tub-over-tub process. A breakthrough then, the industry standard now for beautiful baths without the mess, stress, or high cost. A better way from Bath Fitter means precise measurement, the highest quality acrylic, perfect preparation, and watertight installation backed by a lifetime warranty. Bath Fitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
I think this is it, guys.
When the Martins booked their Verbo vacation home, they really weren't looking for much. A patch of grass for Bruno, a pool for first-timers,
Don't worry, I've got you.
and time with each other. And when they needed support, someone was right there.
I got you.
Because what's unique about a Vrbo is you can reach a real person in about a minute.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Engstrom's Auto Service in Guilford. We specialize in all foreign and domestic service and alignments.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to start with some softball. Nokomis softball is out to a hot start, and they are a little hungry after an early exit from last year's playoffs. Ryan Sudol has the story.
We're a talented group of players who have played together for a really long time, and this year we're not letting up for anyone.
After losing in the opening round of regionals last year as the 1 seed, Nokomis softball is back with a vengeance at an undefeated 12-0.
We had lofty expectations. This is a really, really good team.
And it comes from all sides. Starting on the mound, the Warriors are allowing just 1 run a game. A big thanks to junior ace Mia Coots.
We rely on her a lot. I mean, at shortstop, I've gotten like 5 balls in the whole season, and that's incredibly low. So she does her job and some, so we're very thankful to have her.
Coots has 4 no-hitters on the year, and earlier this week, she struck out 20 against Winslow, including the 500th of her career.
I don't really look like super intimidating, but when I go on to the mound, I just kind of look like I own the place, and that's what I think sets me apart.
She's a softball player. That's what she does. She works on every aspect of the game. If she thinks she's down to one aspect of the game, she steps up and tries to do it one more time.
And Mia is helping the Warriors place most of their focus on the bats, which are averaging 11 runs a game this year. 5 more than last year's average.
We've mainly just focused on more batting. Last year it was a lot of fielding, making sure we wouldn't be making errors, but this year we realized we don't get a lot of balls, so it's more important for us to score lots of runs.
And one other factor is fueling their hot start. These girls just flat out love to have fun and love each other.
We had a team dinner where, it was just so much fun. We do karaoke on the bus. And it's fun for us, and we have fun together, and I think that's what separated this season out from all of the other ones.
And if this season really is different from the others, the Warriors will be en route to their first regional title ever, and perhaps farther than that.
I don't want to jinx anything. I'm just hoping we can get to that point and then give ourselves a good opportunity to win it.
In Newport, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Let's stay with some softball now. Husson in action in round 1 of the NCAA tournament. They're playing at Tufts University. Eagles looking to take a win in the regional round over the Jumbos. Bottom of the first, Tufts with a runner on for Caitlin Perucci. She rips a single into center. That's going to score Josie Steinberg. 1-0 Tufts. It is 2-0 now. Haley Leimbach up. She rips a double into the outfield. Perucci is going to score. That makes it 3-0. Husson down 7-0 now. Skipping ahead, Tatiana Biambi at the dish. She's going to drive in the Eagles' first run of the game. That's going to make it 7-1. Later on, it's Julia Gregor. She is going to rip this one to left field, and that softball is going to leave the yard. Eagles within 4 after the home run, but that is the closest they would get. Tufts would tack on 2 more in the 6th. They win it 9-3 over Husson. So Husson will play at 1:30 on Friday. Let's stay on the diamond now. Maine baseball not quite in the postseason yet. They've got 1 more series to go, hosting Bryan. Black Bears and Bulldogs in Game 1 of a 3-gamer on Thursday. Both pitchers off to a nice start. Top of the second, 2 men on for Bryant. Colin Fitzgerald gets Jackson Finney swinging here to end the frame. Bottom 2 out, Coleman Picard's turn. He paints the corner, gets Ryan Turen down on strikes. To the 3rd we go, no score until Justin Hackett puts a good swing on that ball, a good hack, one might say. And the shortstop leaves the yard deep to left field, 1-0 Bulldogs. Skipping ahead now, 3-0 Bulldogs. John Hosmer at the dish with a runner on. He's going to single up the middle. That's going to bring in Matt Smith, and that is going to make it a 4-0 Bryant lead in the fourth. But Maine would come all the way back, 5-5, bottom 9, and who but Quinn McDaniel. Singles home Matt McElwain for the winning run. Maine takes game 1, 6-5, also takes the outright regular season championship. Now for some high school baseball action. Old Town hosting Orono on Thursday afternoon, home of the Coyotes. Bottom 1, Jackson Lizotte for Old Town. He's going to sky one just outside the infield. That's going to drop in for a hit. Gabe Gifford walks home. It's a 1-0 game. Top 3, Coyotes up 3-0. Orono's Noah Schaff grounds out, but Sal Wise is going to score from third. So that's an RBI for Schaff. That gets the Riots on the board, 3-1. Next batter, Adam Sherman. He's going to get under this one, lift it deep to left field. James Dumont on the catch, but tagging is Kaysen Bagley to score the Riots' second run of the game. Bottom 3 now. Old Town up. Joe Bean hits a floater in the shallow left center. That is going to drop, and Sherman scores. Coyotes would continue to roll. They win 9-3. All right, going across campus for some softball now. Old Town facing Orono there as well. Top 3, Coyotes up. Orono's Laura Costa-Kilpatrick with a fly ball into right. Taylor Madden with the out, but Emma LaBelle comes in to score, puts the Riots on the board. Bottom 3 we go. Emily Wheeler up for Old Town. She's going to single one through the right side. Alexis DeGrasse comes in to score, adds to their lead there. Bottom 5 we go. Wheeler again lays down a bunt, and it's a beauty. She's going to get to first there. That throw is just off. That allows Madden to advance to third. The throw is off there, so some nice heads-up base running brings home another run. And then Ava Braslett is going to get the ground out here, but Wheeler charges home to score. Old Town lights it up. They win 11-1. All right, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Heat and the Celtics is set for Friday night at 8:30 at the TD Garden, with Miami leading the series 1-0. Celtics saw a 9-point halftime lead vanish last night as the Heat torched the Seas for 46 in the third quarter en route to a convincing 123-116 win. Combination of costly turnovers, a meltdown defensively, and Jason Tatum taking 0 fourth-quarter shots led to Miami's stunning comeback win. The Celtics, who also lost Game 1 of the Philly series, will once again have to rally in Game 2 before heading south for Games 3 and 4.
We just got to keep playing basketball, and we too far to hang our head. We too far to look back and be like, oh, the series is over. It's one game. So we just got to get ready to play the next one. Got a great opportunity the next game on Friday to come out and play and lift our intensity. I'm looking forward to it.
It happened. I mean, obviously if we knew the reason, we wouldn't have let it happen. But, we're going to go back, watch the film, see what we did good, see what we need to fix, see what we need to do better, and move on.
All right, so the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia, has a cost-friendly Kia with your name on it. Choose from our fleet of front-wheel drives, all-wheel drives, hybrids, and fully electric vehicles, all affordable, tech-packed, and great on gas. Check out the all-new 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg highway, or check out the new 2023 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. All come loaded with safety features and are great on gas. Plus, get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
The lives we lead. The journey that defines us. The dedication, passion, and teamwork in everything we do. Driven by the things we love. From the visions that lead us, the feelings that inspire us, to the roads that bring us together. Coastal Auto Parts, 29 locations in Maine, will get you to the moments that matter most. Get what you need to keep you firing on all cylinders when you sign up for Napa Rewards. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Healing Hands Massage in Hamden provides professional massage services tailored specifically for our clients. Healing Hands Massage offers a variety of different massage techniques and services. Healing Hands Massage also offers spa services such as facials, body scrubs, and paraffin wax for the hands and feet. Are you looking for a day of relaxation? Healing Hands Massage offers outstanding packages at reasonable rates. Whether you're looking for relief from chronic pain, stiffness, or just want to treat yourself to a day of relaxation, Healing Hands Massage is the place for you.
Mom and Dad, you must be so proud.
We're proud of all of our children.
She has to say that.
Oh, you can't run away from me forever.
Just a heads up, this is my good side.
Yeah.
Bazinga, bazinga, bazinga.
Ah! Are you trying to kill me?
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Could you sing in the blanks for $1 million prize?
Two things everybody loves, music and money.
Don't forget the lyrics. Premieres Tuesday, May 23rd on Fox.
Main Street Skowhegan has just been awarded more funding towards the Skowhegan River Park project. The Maine Outdoor Heritage Fund approved a $25,000 grant request towards their efforts to add new outdoor recreation to the park. The initiative will redevelop Skowhegan's industrial downtown river corridor into an accessible outdoor recreation area. Executive Director of Main Street Skowhegan, Christina Cannon, says the project will feature enhanced whitewater waves, including the Northeast's only adjustable wave for paddling and river surfing.
This will be the first and only river surf wave in the Northeast that's adjustable, and we'll be able to tune and make it an amazing feature on any given day of the week. So we're anticipating being able to run some major events and competitions here, from freestyle paddling and river surfing events to perhaps some slalom competitions as well.
Over the last few years, Main Street Skowhegan has raised around $7 million towards the project. Cannon says they hope to start construction next summer, pending the approval of environmental permits.
Finally tonight, the Eastern Area Agency on Aging hosted its first Healthy Aging Expo since the pandemic. The event, previously known as the Senior Expo, was held at the Anna Shrine in Bangor, bringing together more than 70 vendors, sharing resources and information to help our community members age in a healthy way. The EAAA's Executive Director, Tabitha Casso, says the expo was rebranded in an effort to join the age-positive movement, and the event is a way for seniors to come and learn all about their resources in the Bangor area.
The goal of the event is for people to come and learn all about the resources here in the greater Bangor area and really know what's out there and available to them to help them thrive and stay healthy in life and be able to stay at home as independent and as long as possible. And so even if somebody might not need something right now, coming to learn about the resources that they might need in the future is a great opportunity as well.
And Casso says more than 500 people came out to that event today. They also hold weekly events at the Durgan Center in Brewer for aging adults in the greater Bangor area, including wellness classes, arts and crafts, and more. I like the idea of adopting an age-positive environment. I think, especially in a state like Maine, where you have a lot of older residents, and we all want to age gracefully, and so providing those resources is really important.
Well, and just shifting the mindset to, okay, this may be the number, but this is how I feel, this is how I think. So, yeah,
it's really cool.
All righty, folks, that's all for us. Good night.
Good night, everyone.